what we're thinking is actually manifesting, just not always in physical form. Sometimes it's just manifesting inside of our own mind and creating images. And images are just as real as what we're seeing with our own eyes, because what we're seeing with our own eyes is images. It's our interpretation of images, what they look like, how they're shaped. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it positive? Is it negative? What's its width? What's its height? How much does it weigh? And we're influenced by images no matter what. But we're so stuck on the tangible that we often forget the intangible images that we're creating with our own thoughts that are going into our imagination, and they're having a subtle effect on our nervous system and our subconscious mind and our overall momentary well-being. But they're on subtle levels that continuously manifest, one on top of another on top of another, and they continue to eat away at our nervous system, and they slowly start to pinch at us in fear and worry and depression and overall things that are inhibiting us from feeling the way we really want to feel and living life the way we really want to live our life. And these thoughts, they're creating images. We're thinking about whatever we're thinking about, all the crazy shit that you think about and that I think about, that we don't even want to admit to anyone that we think about. We're not even doing it consciously, just sometimes the way our mind will just drift off and it will be one random thought and be like, holy fuck, did I actually just think that? That happens all the time. And then maybe we laugh about it, maybe we don't, maybe we're actually like, holy fuck, am I crazy? And we kind of think about it, but then we snap back because there's so much going on in our lives. We have such busy lives and everything's built on top of one another. All these circumstances, these situations, these requirements, these people, these places, these responsibilities. And so we're never able to stop long enough to see the images and feel them that we're creating internally within us. Like, some people are so violent in the way that they think that they're producing these images of whatever, people without their heads, or bodies, dead bodies, or dying people, or famine, or just other sick and cruel things that we randomly think, but we're thinking them, and every time they're having an impact. They're creating images within us, and they're storing in us subconsciously, and they begin to slowly become a part of who we are. And the paradox of that is they're not really who we are, but they've become who we are because we've allowed them to be there, these memories and these images. And they sit with us and they weigh us down, and that becomes the weight of the world that we speak of. That's what the weight of the world is. It's these places in our lives and in our thoughts and in our memories and in our mind, really, because it's all stemming from our mind, that we've held ourselves back. Most people, not intentionally. I don't know anyone who's ever intentionally held themselves back. We're doing it unintentionally because we don't know any better. Because we just learn from our parents and from our friends and from our teachers and from our schools and from the media and from movies and from television and from what your aunt said to you and your uncle said to you and your grandma said to you and your brother said to you. And so our life is determined by tangible people that we see and tangible voices that we hear and tangible images. And so you can see how this pattern has slowly begun to build within us to only focus upon tangible images and tangible results and circumstances. And we're forgetting that the outer world isn't what determines how we feel. The inner world is determining the outer world all the time. And our inner world is dictating our outer world by our own thoughts and by the images that we're choosing to store in our memory bank. And we're free as soon as we can recognize all that we're holding and just become aware of it and look at it and say, I'm grateful for you and the experiences that you've given me, all that has held me back. I'm thankful for that. All the thoughts, all the negativity, all that isn't me. I'm thankful for it, but now that I'm aware of it, I release it because I'm living I choose to live my dreams and what I want and what I've defined as my life and how my life should go and is going to go and how I want it to go. And now because of this, I've done this consciously, and now I'm going to live my life consciously from here on out. And so as a conscious being, and I choose to release anything that is holding me back and has held me back in my life, whether that's any forces, whether that's any thoughts, past, feeling, other people, other entities, anything that has held me back, anything or being that has held me back, or thing that I cannot even name, that has held me back is now being released. Because I consciously choose my life, and there's a power in affirming it and not just hearing the words that I'm saying and then thinking them to yourselves or letting me say them for you. Say it. Because we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so when we consciously choose that and remember that, then we also are given the opportunity to choose as a conscious being whether we want to let go of anything that is or has held us back, attachments, connections, cords, charges, that we just let it all go, because it's not us, and we're something more, and we're something greater. And we choose to be something greater, and there are no compromises. We choose not to compromise anymore because we know that there are no compromises in heaven, on earth. There are no compromises in who we want to be and who we say we are, to ourselves and to others, that we be that and we are that, and that there's nothing that can hold us back from that except for our own unconsciousness. And how do we become conscious? We recognize our unconsciousness. Hey, do you want to reverse the facts that right now America's at the highest rate of clinical depression ever? Do you want to take happiness into the wind? Well, press subscribe, share, and then share a smile with the next person you see. Ready, go, go, go!